All right, today guys, we're gonna be setting up a kite rod for flying a kite for bluefin. So here's a little way you can modify a rod so you can save some time on the water. All right guys, this is the rod and reel we picked up. This is a Penn Rival, and it just came on a 6'6" medium heavy rod. Again, the rod length is not important. It just happened to be a cheap deal on Amazon for like $100. I'm sure you could find one. This is a 30 wide level wind reel. And the reason why we chose this reel is, one, you're flying a kite, you don't need a lot of drag. This reel has like 15 pounds of drag. Really simple, free spool, star drag, simple to use. When you're using this, basically your rod holder or your rod is going to be in the holder, and you're going to have your left hand putting this thing into free spool to let the kite out, and your other hand is going to be on the thumb of your reel, letting it out at the same time. So something to keep in mind. So you don't need to spend a lot of money on a reel, but this 30 wide does hold 710 yards of 50-pound braid. Now, you definitely want to use braid. Don't use monofilament. Monofilament takes up the whole spool, and you're going to get about half the amount of line on here that you need. And secondly, braid is a lot lighter. So you find a kite, you want as little weight on the line as possible, and you really want that kite string to fly as straight as possible, especially if you're going to hang a bait or two on it as well. So something to keep in mind. So we're going to show you a little trick how to take this reel apart and do a little mod for it, so you don't have to spend a whole bunch of money on an electric reel. But this thing's pretty simple, and we'll go from there. So all you gotta do first is just pull out this little screw right here. It's a locking screw. Just keeps the nut from backing off. And then the handy little tool that it came with, you can use that to crack this bad boy loose. It should be on there too tight. And then you just backspin it off just like you would if you're going to change the handle. There we go. All right, so we're going to leave this thing in place, and let's grab a nut. All right, so what we have here is the finished product. Now, this is nothing fancy. We can make this at home. This strap right here is literally a conduit strap for electrical work, and I just flattened out the strap in a vise, drilled 2 holes through it, and you'll notice that I still have the original reel screw and the set screw to keep it from backing off. So this thing is super rigid tight. It's not perfectly square, and it's a little bit fragile because it is a strap that I literally bent, but it will serve the purpose. All right, so I'm gonna give you an example of how fast this is. I'm using just a Milwaukee M12 drill with a 10mm on my setup here, and I'm gonna go like 30% speed here, okay? So as you can tell, that's super fast. You're gonna get 1,000 yards in like 30 seconds. So I'm sure you're wondering why I had to make this little bracket here and not just find another nut or bolt that will fit through this hole. The problem is that this screw is like a 7.5mm super fine thread screw that you'll never find. I mean, even McFadden, no hardware store that I know of was I able to locate one, and I couldn't find anybody else online that had found one either. But there's a couple people that have like machined their own bolts and stuff like that. you're gonna spend a lot of time and a lot of money, but this is a pretty quick, simple solution for what we're trying to accomplish here. So you can tell the thing works really fast, and it's gonna be super helpful on the water. No one is gonna have fun reeling in 500 yards of a line on any rod. So I definitely, if you got some time on your hands, spool up a little rod for yourself if you're gonna be kite fishing, and save yourself from money from spending $500 or $600 on an electric reel.